Alrighty, time to cross the finish line here with the Ruskies. Do a little bit of a quick review. Russia Part 2. Remember Kulakovo Field back there in 1380? First time the Russians, i.e. Muscovites, had ever defeated the Mongols. The guy leading the charge, Dmitry Donskoy from the Don River over there, right? Jimmy from the Don. Dmitry Donskoy. Still a saint in the Russian Orthodox Church, and Greek Orthodox too, Saint Dmitry. And you remember Urga River, right? Alexander Percevet versus some generic bad guy. Russia finally gets out from underneath the Mongols. Or, once again, let me correct myself. Moscow gets out from underneath the Mongols and starts dominating all of Russia. Now, who do we have to thank for all this? Ivan III, or Ivan the Great, reigned from 1442 to 1505. He's the guy who ends Mongol domination over Russia, right? Stand on the Urga River. Starts modernizing Russia best he can. A lot of Greek scholars, because, the Byzantine Empire is going to collapse. Craftsmen, architects, artists. Calls Moscow the third Rome. The first Rome was Rome. The second Rome, of course, Constantinople and the Byzantine Empire. And he proclaims Moscow to be the third Rome. Rome 3.0. Even puts the Byzantine eagle up on the Russian flag at the time. And look who he marries. Sophia Paleologos, Greek princess, Byzantine princess. Remember I talking about Byzantine princesses marrying up in Russia? Well, there she is, the sister of the final Byzantine emperor. So here we are. We've got Rome 3.0, at least that's the Russian logic. And Ivan's the first guy to have the title of Tsar, T-S-A-R, or C-Z-A-R, Tsar, Kaisar, Tsar. See? So they're really taking this Rome 3.0 stuff pretty seriously. Here's my friend, Heinz the cat. Say hello, Heinz. All righty, move on, Heinz. Ivan III, they call him the Great. Why? Because Russian rulers with the title Great, they get this title when they conquer a lot of land. And Ivan III is the guy responsible for what they call the gathering of the Russias. As you see, Moscow's pretty busy gathering all the Russias under Muscovite domination. We can start calling it Russia now. Of course, their main rival is Novgorod. Novgorod doesn't really bow to Russia bow to Moscow too much because, they have this weird tendency in Novgorod to ask the people what they want to do and then decide on it. And that democracy stuff. This is weird thing comes from the West. We're not really sure what that's all about. Now, a lot of Russian rulers have the title the Great. Ivan the Great, Peter the Great later on, going to add a lot of territory. Stalin, Catherine the Great, of course. Stalin one day, he's going to get that title, I bet. But you don't hear a lot about Ivan the Great. The guy's done so much, lays the foundation for Russia, actually revitalizes the Kremlin, builds it up to what it looks like today. You never hear so much about the guy. And why is that? It's because of his son, Ivan the Fourth, or as we like to call him, Ivan the Terrible. Just take a good look at that picture. That's a good picture. Because you always know they give the good portraits out, right? As you can tell, this guy, not very happy. No, he's not happy about a lot of things. When he was born, they already knew he was going to be trouble. He already had teeth when he was born. They already knew this guy's going to be trouble. Born on a storm, lightning, the whole stuff, and this guy's already got teeth when he comes out. Oh boy. Mr. Warm and Fuzzy. Yeah, maybe it's over dramatized a little by Hollywood, but yeah, don't look like they're that far off either. Look at that scepter he's carrying. Now, that's going to come into play later. Ivan goes east. Oh, good Lord. You see that look? You know you're in trouble. If you remember, the Mongol Empire split into four. And the one that's giving Russia problems is the Khanate of the Golden Horde. The Khanate of the Golden Horde, defeated 1380, 1480, is now fragmented even further and falling apart. 1552, they go due east and attack Kazan. Kazan goes down. Arastakhan down near the Caspian Sea, they take that out. In 1558, goes due south after the Crimean Tartars. Of course, comes into conflict with the Ottomans. Kazan and Arastakhan are conquered completely. Crimean Tartars are going to be around till 1783. They're vassals of the Ottoman Turks, so Russia and Turkey are going to get into it. He wins, but they're still there. Going to have to deal with those guys, headed towards the Black Sea. So he decides to go towards the Baltic Sea, and fights with Sweden. We got the Livonian War over there. Goes on a long time, as you can see. 1568 to 1583, the war goes bonkers on him, and Ivan goes bonkers. Of course, he may have been, shall we say, a couple sandwiches short of a full picnic basket anyway. The Oprichniki, the secret police. You're saying, no, Mr. H, that's a picture of the Nazgul from Lord of the Rings. Where do you think Tolkien got the idea? Oprichniki with the black hoods, got the horses, gallop around at night. It's the secret police. It's something that's been part of Russia forever. There was the KGB, before the KGB, the Okhrana, before the Okhrana, the Oprichniki. What are they doing now? I think they call it the Federal Security Bureau or something these days. Ask Vladimir Putin when you see him around next time. So the Oprichniki have been around for a very long time. It's part of Russian life, secret police, spying on people. Even before they had the technology, they were doing it way back in the Middle Ages. The Oprichniki. Ivan's paranoid. Thinks everyone's trying to take his throne from him. So he's spying on everybody. He's got his own secret police. You don't want to be part of the Tsar's inner circle. If it's Ivan III, it's good to be part of the inner circle. Ivan IV, you might not be around very long. Their job was to sweep away treachery. They ride around on horses at night with the black hoods. They got the brooms to sweep away treachery. They've got dog heads. I'm not sure what that was all about. Just a bunch of sickos, I guess. They're above the law. Many were actual criminals. Their only allegiance is to Ivan. Penalty for insulting them is death. Even got these big battle axes. I hope they're not using them when they're riding it, but you know, they gotta get off the horse sometime. Oprichniki, bad news all around. The secret police is something that's been part of Russia since it's been Russia. It's Russia. It's what they do. Destruction of Novgorod, or massacre, 1570. They got this weird thing, democracy, something going on over in Novgorod. They're not listening to Moscow every time Moscow says something, because Russia's really big into centralization. So they decide to destroy Novgorod. That's right. It's like the United States going bonkers and deciding to destroy New York. I mean, they just go crazy. They destroy the city. And no more challenge to Tsar Ivan IV's authority of any way, shape, or form. Of course, Ivan's gone completely around the bend, and when everyone's attacking Novgorod, the Crimean Tatars come up and attack Moscow in 1571. Yet at the same time, Philip is destroying the Turkish fleet down in Crete 10 weeks late. Thanks. I'm trying to link it all together. Ivan has a bad temper. Ivan swings his scepter around and hits people. 1581, he got mad at his son, swung his scepter, you seen that thing, and popped him in the side of the head right on the temple. Down and out. Complete knockout right off the bat there. So, way to go, Ivan. You've alienated your country, you've plunged into a losing war in Livonia, you've destroyed Novgorod, and now you have just killed your own heir to the throne. So Ivan decides it's time to check out. And not only does he check out, he inflicts all kinds of misery on Russia. 3 horrifying years followed by another generation of complete horror. He dies in 1584. Not really sure who takes over. He's already killed his elder son. We got his second son, Fyodor, or Theodore. He's childless, mentally weak. We think he was possibly disabled. He's not going to be a good czar. The only reason he's even on the throne, his brother-in-law, Boris Godunov, takes over, run things in the background. Boris can't really run everything because he's part Mongol. Got the high cheekbones and everything. Looks kind of like Vladimir Putin now that I think about it. But anyway, point is, you're part Mongol, you can't be czar. Theodore's going to die here very soon, 1598. There's absolutely nobody left to take over, so Godunov has to do it. And everyone's upset because you got this half-Mongolian guy sitting on the throne. God is probably not very happy because you've got a nasty famine from 1601 to 1603. They finally overthrow Godunov in 1605. It's complete anarchy and chaos in Russia. The fact the guy hung on for so long is a miracle. If it hadn't been for the famine, he probably would have been okay. And lo and behold, we got a guy from Poland showing up calling himself Dmitri. Yes, the lost son of Ivan. Except, he's from Poland, which means he's not. Name might be Dmitri. It's not the one you think it is. So this army of Polish champions arrives. They're in Moscow, and they're trying to turn it into a greater Poland. It's not going to work. Another uprising. They shove him in a cannon and fire him back towards Poland. And what comes out of the west again? We got another false Dmitri showing up in 1621. 1612, I'm sorry. And the same story repeats itself. It's anarchy. It's chaos. Is Russia even going to hold together? Is the country going to fly apart? After the Soviet Union fell apart in 1991, Russia had a really rough time in the 90s, switching from communism to capitalism like that. And then their economy had crashed, their population was dropping at the time, and they called it Russia's second time of troubles. You're going to see here that Russia is going to pull itself together and become a great power. And as you have seen in the 21st century, Russia pulled itself together and is now a great power again. Your friend Vladimir Putin gets the credit for that one. Whatever you think about him, he did a really good job. So, who's going to pull Russia out of its original time of troubles? We got to find somebody. The royal family can't find it. It's scattered. It's all over the place. Might not even exist. We don't even know. And here comes a 16-year-old guy named Mikhail Romanov. Romanov, son of the Romans. Michael, son of the Romans. Think that's his real name? Hey, it's enough to get on the throne, right? The Romanov dynasty is born in 1613. It's going to be there all the way to the First World War. The Romanovs are going to pull Russia out of the darkness to the light and eventually become a great power, not just in Europe, but the entire world. Michael Romanov is the guy who's waving us across the finish line. Hope you guys have enjoyed it. I certainly have. You got a final exam coming up. If you need anything, please email me. I'll get to you. I'm always on the computer. Any questions at all the lectures are there for you to go back over. And you guys are going to do great. So don't worry about it. You guys have yourself a great day, and hopefully I get to meet you one day. Have a nice day.